Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about one example of the Boston Celtics just playing absolutely brilliant, beautiful basketball. This is probably a combination of reflection on the Celtics players, Joe Mazzulla, and frankly the system that they've designed in Boston. We're going to walk through the ball screens and how they attacked different ball screen coverages that Washington played against them and why they worked so well and just how high level the Boston Celtics are. Let's go. So the first set of examples that we're watching is when Washington decided on the ball screen to go under. So I think first off, this is a pretty big mistake because Boston has so many good shooters. We can see when Derek White goes back this way, we're watching this defender. He's not going to go over, he's going to go under. Okay, so this is the read that Boston is watching for the first place. Okay, so as Derek White notices that he goes under, he says, okay, essentially, this is probably built into someone into the system, but it's also Derek White acknowledging that this is what they're going to do. Let's just do this essentially very simple concept to get an open look. He knows that as he comes off the screen, Jordan Poole is going to go underneath. Okay, so that means that there's a gap between the defender being able to get up to him and him having time to shoot this ball. And Derek White is a very good shooter. As Jordan Poole goes underneath, gets caught slightly by Jayson Tatum, wide open three-point attempt. So Washington's going to continue with this same strategy. We're watching Jaylen Brown this time. What is he thinking? They've acknowledged that Washington is going under, so he wants his defender to be set with a screen. So when this screen comes, I think it's going to be from here actually, his defender's going to go under. Jaylen's simply going to step up and a wide open three. Let's see if the exact same thing occurs. Okay, Al Horford pops up. They did dribble handoff, but that's the exact same concept. He steps up as the defender goes under. Jaylen Brown just simply stops right behind the screen. No time for anyone to close out. And again, a wide open three. So we're watching Derek White. And again, we'll notice this is the exact same setup as the first play that we showed where Al Horford sets a screen over here before Tatum goes and screens the ball. Okay, so Tatum comes to screen the ball. What are we watching for Jordan Poole? Underneath. Okay, as he goes underneath, Derek White simply stops in the open space and see if he gets a wide open three again. Goes underneath, get taken way out of the play. Derek White, wide open three. It's so often at so many levels of basketball that teams, when they get open shots, they don't understand what led to those open shots, and so they don't repeatedly do the same thing. And this is such a simple thing, as Boston ran the same set over and over and over again to get open looks every single time. Okay, so we got ball screen coming here. Jordan Poole, what's he going to do? Go underneath. Okay, open space, Derek White. Simply recognize that you have an advantage in doing something and just do it over and over again. If you're getting good looks, keep doing it. Even if it's not going to go in every time, it's still a good shot. So then at some point, Washington realized they can't just keep giving up so many open threes. Boston's going to make them at a very high clip at some point. And so they changed their ball screen coverage. So right there, as Pritchard's bringing the ball up, what does Jordan Poole do? Okay, instead of going underneath, which is what they've done every single time, he fights to get over the screen. He makes it so it's harder for Pritchard to get to the screen in the first place. Okay, so Pritchard has to go back the other way because Jordan Poole cut him off. So how does Boston solve this? One good way to solve this is if they're trying to deny you from using the screen in the first place, if you get a running head start with a dribble handoff, it is much harder for him to get in front of a moving target, and then he gets caught on the screen, and then again, you have that open look again. Okay, so as Peyton Pritchard gets a little bit of distance, and he's going to become sprinting at this, and so Jordan Poole isn't going to have time to hedge up, and so that makes it so he's going to have this open opportunity as Jordan Poole gets caught on the screen slightly, and Peyton Pritchard, a very good three-point shooter again. Again, we're looking for Boston, how they're attacking. So same thing, we know Peyton Pritchard, he knows his defender is going to try and get on the high side, and so this is another solution. Is you don't always have to make it where you're moving before the ball screen. You can change what this player does when setting the screen. Instead of setting it where you're kind of like this and it's easier for the defender to get up here, you can set it where you're more angled like this, and so the defender really can't get in between him and the ball, and so the defender has to go all the way around, and it gives again more space because the defender's so far behind. And so again, it should give another open look. Look how Al Horford adjusts his angle right there, changes it so it's way more angled, and so Peyton Pritchard uses it to make contact, and goes shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip with Al so that there's no way the defender can get in between. And again, it's a wide open three. And one other thing that we notice is as Peyton Pritchard, we notice how last time he was running through, this time he kind of like he fakes like he's going to go the other way just to get the defender to respect it a little bit. See that right there? That little jab right there gets the defender just slightly off balance to set up the ball screen. It's a great job from Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard and the Boston Celtics. And then the final example is Washington was like, okay, well, we've given up open threes to Derek White, we've given up open threes to Peyton Pritchard, we got to change something. And so their solution was to, instead of going over or going under, they switch. I don't know if this is a design switch, but 0 is obviously in a fairly bad situation. So Boston acknowledges that they switched right here. This big is coming up. 0 is going to be on the big right here. And he's simply going to go into the middle where he has a massive advantage in size and space because no one's in there. And so that's a pretty easy finish for Boston. And the counter side of switching is not only are you going to have this advantage where you have a big on a guard, you're also going to have this big having to guard Jason Tatum. Both of these are going to be advantageous for the offense. So if the offense is able to capitalize, then you're going to get very good outcomes. And Jason Tatum being very quick and a very good shooter helps him out a lot in that situation. So this is 3 examples all from the game between Boston and Washington. Seeing the first half, how Boston just understands the game so well, attacks the different coverages that Washington provided, and just absolutely torches them to get good looks across the board. Again, same thing. What is going to happen here? We're going to have the switch. Alex Sarr is going to come out. The guard is going to with the big. Jason Tatum is going to say, okay, I have the advantage. I acknowledge I have the advantage. Let's create a little space. Let's attack. And Jason Tatum is so good at this. This is the part of the beautiful concept is if you have so good of players and so good at coaches, there are very little things the defense can actually do to prevent you from getting great looks across the board. So the Boston Celtics attacked when Washington went under the screens, attacked when Washington went over the screens, and attacked when Washington switched the screens, getting great shots across the board. And that's just part of the reason that Boston is going to be so elite and will continue to be so elite as long as they have this combination of players and this combination of staff. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.